Hi there, my name is Troels, and in this video we're taking a deep look at our new ADO Hybriid Tools NEO. NEO is a mixture of the most current and contemporary trends we're seeing in the world of cinematic scores, combined with all the beautiful infusions from the latest sound design trends in the EDM world. We sort of wanted to create a library that was mixing and fusing those two worlds together, because we see a lot of crossover anyway these days. So we were like, let's create a library that's full of cinematic content inspired by EDM and vice versa as well. And the library is actually over 21 gigabytes of brand new content. We have over 500 new scoring elements and inspiration starters, as we call them, and I'm covering them in another video. We have 9 completely brand new categories for hybrid effects and trailer effects. We have hundreds and hundreds of cinematic loops, really contemporary sounding loops. We have over 200 cinematic drum kits and 200 different risers that are all BPM based, and a variety of other things, vocal effects and so forth. But in this video, we're only going to be focusing on some of the analog synthesizers in the library. One of the cool aspects about NEO is that it actually contains 400 multi-sampled analog synthesizers. And the way we broke them down is that there's 8 different categories. You both have what we call organic synths, and then we have traditional analog synths. And the organic synthesizers were created by taking a variety of sounds from the custom ADO catalog and fusing them together with analog synthesizers. And then we also have a variety of pure analog synthesizers. And further down, we divide these into bass synthesizers and regular synthesizers. We really wanted to focus on that warmth you get with the analog down the basses, so there's unique patches for that as well. But of course, there's no way I can go through 400 individual patches and 75 presets and so forth. So I'm just going to go through a couple of handful of synthesizers to give you an idea about the diversity of the source material here. You can really do a lot of things with it, and we have a user interface that's incredibly easy to use, but at the same time highly flexible. For example, let's start here with the stack button here. When you click stack, you can essentially add as many patches as you want. Each of these guys here is a unique multi-sample synthesizer. So you can see in this first part here, we have 3 synthesizers playing together. And the second one here was using our arpeggiation sequencer here. You can actually choose any kind of pattern you want in terms of arpeggiations. And you can see this patch that we both activated the stack function and the gator here as well. Let me try to play it one more time here, but this time I'll play around in real time with the length and the rate of the gator so you can see how it works. And I'll also add some other patches together. And again, once you click the stack function here, you can combine any patch you want. And there's actually 2 different pages here for all the synthesizers for each of the banks here. So you got 50 individual synthesizers within each patch. So there's a lot you can do with it, but let me try to gate it a little more here. And I think often when people think about hybrid music, they're like, oh, I'm just going to take a synthesizer and put it underneath the strings and all that stuff. But more commonly for really beefy high-end mixes, you have a variety of different synthesizers stacked on top of each other to really get the beefiness in the sound. Let me just try to trigger the same sequence here again, and in real time just mangle around with the stacking here. You can see we actually had 8 different synthesizers playing at the same time in order to generate that sort of sharp, really piercing sound. So that's an example of a much more organic synthesizer derived from dry electric guitar. And it's a good example actually of how easy it is to use the library. So in this case here, you click the stack function, choose a couple of patches, click the reverse button, and everything is reversed. Let me just try to do another variation here, and let's try to reverse this as well, see what happens. And it's actually fun because you got 50 different synth presets loaded in just one of these banks here. Some of them are sustained, some of them are plucked, depending on the personality. In this case here, you actually have both a sustained and a plucked synthesizer stacked together here, but reversed, meaning that the plucks are going to end at a point and the sustained synthesizer is going to keep sustaining itself. So you get some of these reversed effects blended into the synthesizer as well. It's a really cool effect. And we can paint a little further with it here. Let's click on the gate button here and take the rate all the way up here. All of a sudden you have a rhythmic aura. This of course is completely tempo synced as well, but it's more like a traditional rhythmic aura here. You also have our trusted chaos specs here on the backside if you're ever interested in that. We actually have some fairly deep filter modulation you can do here and a variety of other effects as well that can help you mangle the synthesizers even more. But the core idea is really to give you an amazing amount of flexibility in terms of combining different patches on the fly, just using the stack function here. But let me just try to gate this guy here, and let's put a little bit of a pitch envelope to it. You can also offset actually, let's do that a little bit. That means that we go into the sample, so it's not triggering the start point, but a little further in. And one of the great things about Neo is the fact that you can combine all the individual patches together here and very, very quickly dial in the sound you want. So you don't actually have to go through patches. You sort of just create your own patch on the fly, simply just by sitting and, you know, adding different patches together. Maybe a little too much, but this is one that's great for trap actually. I'll play a little bit with it. And remember that the right button on your mouse is your friend. If you right click anything here, you can assign it to your CC. In this case, I actually assigned the length of the gate here to my mod wheel as well. But it actually goes for all these guys here. If you want to assign them to your mod wheel and have individual control over them, you can totally do that. play a little bit with the length here of the gate and all that stuff. It just helps create more sort of organic feel in the synthesizers. But anyway, that's just me being high on my own sample supply, so to speak. But I'm really happy with this library. It really sets a new bar for what Hybriid Tools can be, and the quality is near unmatched. It sounds so freaking good. Everything is mastered to perfection, so you don't have to sit and really think about that. It's all taken care of. So, and remember to watch the other videos of Hybriid Tools NEO as well. We have one where I'm covering some of the drum kits, and we have another one where I'm covering all the beautiful hybrid effects and inspirational starters and all that stuff. And then we have a fourth video where I'm demonstrating how I made the demo for Hybriid Tools NEO. This is Troels from 8dio, signing out.